Hello everyone, in today's tutorial I'll be showing you guys how to create this 1v1v1 reload map in Uefn. So let's get started. Before I get into the tutorial, if you would like to purchase this template, it will be available on my PayHip. The link to that is in the description. Go check it out. So to start off, we're first going to do the storm as well as the builds breaking mechanism. So for the storm, we're going to go to the content drawer. We're just going to look up storm, and then we want the basic storm controller. We're going to drag it out, and you want to make sure that it's in the middle of your island. The island that I created was just a blank island. So for the storm, the initial radius we're going to put to 75 meters, and then the final radius we're also going to put to 75 meters. The wait time we're going to put to the max. The resize time we're also going to put to the max. Delay time will be 0. Finish behavior, we're going to click stay. And that's it for the storm. So now what this means is that the storm will always stay in this radius. It won't close and it won't widen as well. Now for the build breaking mechanism, we're going to go back to the content drawer. We are going to need the explosive device. We're going to need a timer. And then we're also going to need the trigger device. Once I have all of these down, I'm going to go into the explosive device. Blast radius, I'm going to quickly type 10,000 into the bar at the search bar at the top. I'm going to copy it, and then I'm going to right click and paste into the blast radius. Can be damaged, no. Player damage, none. Structure damage, max. Knockback, none. Play audio, no. Visible during game, no. Collision during game, only when visible. Show health bar, no. Play audio, no. And then time until reset, we'll put 0.5 seconds. And then I'm going to save. Next, we are going to go to the trigger. Visible in game off, trigger by player off, all these settings off, off, and then trigger delay, we're going to make 1 second. And then now we're going to go to the timer. This timer will be the timer where every time, every minute, or however long you put it, the builds will break. So start a game start, yes. Can interact, no. Applies to everyone. Completion behavior restart, so the timer restarts. Visible during game hidden. Show on HUD, no. Audio effects, no. Now to connect everything, I'm simply just going to copy the explosive device just for a backup in case one for some reason glitches. You're going to go to both of them, and you're going to explode when the pick timer device is on success. And then you're going to do reset when the trigger is on triggered. And now everything is done. So what will happen is this will start on game start, and then after a minute, it will explode both of these devices. It will take 0.5 seconds for it to then reset, and then the trigger will take 1 second to trigger, and then once it's triggered, it will then reset the explosive device. So that is both those mechanisms done. Now we're just going to delete the two. Oh, whoops. Let me get that back. We're going to delete the 2 player spawners. And then next, we want to add grass to the ground. So we can just look up grass. And then I'm going to scroll down until I find the grass that I'm looking for. It will be this one right here. Grass temp solid, no grass. Like this. And you want to fill out the whole platform. So what I'm going to do is resize it until it reaches the end. And then same thing wide. Like that. And you want to make sure that it's just right above these grid planes. Now you want to keep the grid planes because the grid planes allow the player to build. If you delete them and then only put the grass, then the player will not be able to build. So then we're going to save that. The next thing we want to do is set up the random weapon granters when the player spawns each time. So the way we're going to do this is we are going to put down player spawner. I'm going to chuck it down. Make sure visible in game is off. And that's it. So you want to put your player spawner just on the edge of the storm so they don't spawn in the storm. And then for the random items that will be granted, we are going to need a trigger device. Visible game off, 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 off. Boom. And I'm going to rename this to trigger grant items. Then the next thing we're going to do is go to the content drawer and look up item granter and drag this out. For these settings, we're going to do keep all and then grant item when pick trigger grant items is on triggered. So now, let's say this is the shotgun item granter. We'll put as many shotguns as you want in your map. This is fully up to you what you want the loot pool to be. So I just added 2 shotguns. Next, I'm going to copy and paste it. It should automatically be granted when this is on triggered. So this one, let's say, will be the assault rifles. I'm going to put assault rifle. Like I said, you can put as many as you'd like, but for the sake of the video, I'm only going to put 2 in for now. Then same thing, this one, let's say we want it to be SMGs. I'm just going to put submachine gun. Say the next one, we want it to be heals or movement. Let's put the grappler. And then let's put like crash pads. And the last one we want to be heals. So let's say I put slurp fish. And then I put Lil Whip's cone. Just like that. Now, one thing I did do on accident, you want to hold them all. Then you want to delete grant item, and you actually want to put the setting cycle to random item. So this will mean that it will grant the player random items. So pick trigger on triggered, boom. So now, then you want to go to your trigger device and trigger when the player spawner is on player spawned. So how this will work is when the player spawns, it will trigger this trigger. And when the trigger is then triggered, these 5 item granters will cycle to a random item and grant the player those weapons. So say you have like 20 shotguns, 20 ARs, 20 SMGs, 20 heals, and 20 movement items. Every time they respawn, it will be a different random loadout. Now, since this map has 12 players, all you got to do simply is hold down the control key and select all of these. And now, every time you copy and paste it, everything will already be set up. And you simply just got to put the player spawners all around the circle. So like I said, there's 12 players. So you're going to put 12 player spawners all around the circle. And then that will be it. So I'm going to cut to when that's done. Okay, so as you can see, I've just finished putting all 12 player spawners with their respective triggers and item granters, and I also filled all them out with the weapons and heals that I wanted. Like I said at the beginning of the video, if you don't want to create this yourself and you just want to have it pre-made, I'm selling it on my PayHip for only $15. The link to that's down in the description. So we only have a few more things to do. The first one is we want to put down a mutator zone from the content drawer, drag it out. And what we're going to do here is make sure that allow building and weapon fire is on. And then we're going to go down to pick up lifespan and put it to 10 seconds. What this will mean is that when you eliminate a player, their items will drop, but then after 10 seconds, all of the loot on the ground will disappear. So this is crucial just so that the arena, like the battlefield, doesn't get too cluttered with weapons. And then you can just make it max size, and then we'll put the height to like 50 or something, just like this. And then we want to bring it down just a little bit so it fills out the entire area. And the next thing we want to do as well is, just in case players survive outside of the storm and go off the map, what we want to do is add a damage volume device. So we're going to drag that out. We're going to bring it a little bit below the map like this. We're we're going to go down, enable VFX off, damage take 1 second, and then we want to make the damage elimination. So when the players fall off the map, they'll immediately be eliminated. And then you do the same thing. We're just going to max out the width and the depth. Make sure the height is 0 because we don't want it to be on the battlefield. And just drag this into the middle. So now, like I said, if the players fall off the map, they will then be eliminated and respawn automatically. So that's basically the map done. But what other maps I've seen do is that they add little areas for players to change their skins and promote other islands. So that's why I added this little area here with no player spawners. So if you do want to do that, you can just go to your content drawer and look up, is it changing booth? Let me just type booth. Right here, changing booth. So we're going to drag that out, and you want to make sure that the door is facing towards the middle, like this. So you can simply just bring the change in booths like that. And then if you want to add your map, like promote your other maps, or just promote for people to leave this lobby and join a new one, what you can do is go to your content drawer and just look up matchmaking. If I can spell matchmaking portal, make sure it's facing towards the player, like so. Bring it back, like that. And then now you can put your map codes to this map or any other map. Set island text visibility no, visible during game yes, set matchmaking text visible no, enable audio no. And then if you have multiple islands, you can just simply copy and paste and bring it like that. So now there is a little area for players to go and change their skins. Now the last things are the island settings. I'm going to open this up and scroll through it slowly. So if you guys want to pause the video or just slow the video down to get the correct island settings done, you can do that. And that will start now. So now that I've shown you guys the island settings, I am simply going to launch session and show you guys how this looks in game. So I've just loaded up the map, and as you can see, I have my random loadout. I'm able to build, shoot, eliminate players, and then say I get eliminated. My loot will then drop on the floor, and then when I respawn, I will be given a whole other loadout. So I hope you guys did enjoy today's tutorial. If you guys did, please make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below on what tutorial you'd like to see next. Also remember, I will be selling this template on my PayHip, so if you'd like to purchase it, the link to that is down in the description. It'll be really appreciated. I also have a Discord server with over 5,000 members where you can chat and get help from other people, so if you'd like to join that, that is also down in the description. Hope you guys did enjoy today's tutorial, and I'm out.